Hello once again, witchy people. It's getting very close to Yule, and I thought I would take the opportunity, whilst I had some peace and quiet, which I don't because the dog is playing, to tell you about some of my favourite herbs and spices that I like to use at certain Sabbats during the year. So my Yuletide picks would be, and it always surprises people, one of my first choices is juniper. Rosemary, sloe. I apologise that it's the dog. Sloe, and then a few other spices, sort of like pickled in. Now the thing is, and I'm going to talk about juniper this time. Now juniper, what you have to bear in mind is that all species of juniper are toxic. Some more toxic than others. So, and I will admit I do make juniper tea. I do it once a year, and I do it very, very weakly, as in a very weak solution. Because, okay, if you're planning on falling pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, if you are pregnant, if you're incredibly young, old, frail, ill, have high blood pressure, or if you have renal kidney problems, do not ingest in any way juniper. Find some other way to use it. So you could make it into an incense, that sort of thing. Some species of, as I say, juniper are more toxic than others, and I'll try and get some pictures to sort of like compare. I know that, is it Juniper Californiae is actually not too bad, but the best one is Juniper communis, which is the common juniper. Now it has very sharp needle-like leaves, whereas the Savin juniper, which is Juniper sabina, its leaves look like Leandii. So it has like scale-like leaves, and they kind of meld into the branch, whereas juniper leaves, the needles, kind of, they don't meld and meld and blend into the twigs. So I'll try and get some pictures here of common juniper, which is juniperus or Juniper communis, and Savin juniper, which is Juniperus sabina. Just to reiterate, common juniper, although it is toxic, it is not as toxic as Juniper sabina. Oh dear. So, like I said, I treat myself to juniper tea once a year. And like I said, I make it very, very mildly, and it's used as an accent for divination. It represents ancestors. It represents ends and beginnings. So it's really, really good at this time of year. So I usually take 3 or 4 at the most dried juniper berries, and I crush them up with a pestle and mortar, put them into a cup with usually something else, and that's usually star anise or cloves. Some people don't like cloves, so it's just like 1 or 2 cloves or a star anise. Pour boiling water on it, let it steep for a good 10 minutes. Then drain it, and I like to stir it with either thyme or rosemary especially. It just gives it that hint of, stick a thyme twig in it, and it really does taste very nice. So it, like I said, it's excellent for divination, and I don't know why, it just seems to fit at this time of year for me. If you really are, if you're worried at all, find something to replace juniper with if you want it to ingest something. And the best replacement, funnily enough, I think, for juniper is probably, if you're going to make a tea, you could use allspice berries, but the best replacement for juniper is lemon. So use a bit of lemon rind and make some lemon tea. So you could inhale the steam from juniper infused hot water. Instead, you could anoint a candle with juniper oil and light it. That would be quite good. Or just use some juniper incense. So the reason why I make my juniper tea, and it's just, like I said, I think it's perfect for this time of year. And I make a time when it's nice and quiet, like now, like it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's a time just for me. And I have this juniper tea, and only if I'm feeling well. Like I said, if you're at all unsure, don't ingest juniper in any way whatsoever. Like I say, I use the infused water. I don't eat the berries or anything like that. You crush the berries. If you are unsure or worried in any way, do not, under any circumstances, ingest in any way juniper. Stay away from it. Like I said, use it for incense instead, anything like that. But anyway, I will sit, and I tend to light a candle. It's usually a white candle or a yellow candle, because they're usually beeswax candles. That's what I happen to have around. If you want to be quite colour coded and correspondency about it all, I would suggest maybe a black candle or a green or red candle. And it's a time for me to concentrate on the flame for that sort of divination purposes, or a fire. But I don't have a real fireplace. I only have this fireplace which is making a really weird noise. I don't know if you can hear that. It's absolutely a pain in the jacksy. Anyway, so it has to be dark, except for the candle flame, or if you're lucky enough, a real flame, a real fire flame in a hearth, not wildfires or anything. And concentrate on letting your ancestors, or not necessarily ancestors, but people you are connected to in the past. So people that other witches, famous witches even, people who lived in a way that you feel you would like to live, that sort of connection. You concentrate on those and you ask them for divinatory help. Divination, pictures of divination, things like that. But like I said, I use juniper because it does connect with the past. It's an excellent, excellent spice for me to connect with the past. It's also brilliant for attracting wealth. And it's not just monetary wealth. It's wealth in friendships, love, abundance, I guess. Also, like I said, it's heavily connected with ancestors and ancestry. It's like Barclay's had a trim. He looks very, very young. And he's up to mischief. So yeah, excellent for ancestry's protection and cleansing. So if you have juniper, you put a couple of drops of oil in the incense, or you have juniper incense, or you are making your own incense with juniper in it. It's incredibly good for asperging a space, for cleansing it, and like I said, it's for renewed beginnings. Funnily enough, they used to use it way back to keep yourself protected from wild animals. He's gone all puppyish now. He's had a trim, haven't you? Little pain in the butt, aren't you? Yes, you are. Anyway, so that's what I will be doing, usually on the 20th, if I can, 20th of December, which obviously is just before Yule. I like to have my juniper tea. If you really can't abide the thought, or are worried in any way about having juniper, like I said, find something else. Limoncello is excellent. Have a bit of limoncello liqueur. That would be quite good. Sloe gin would be another one. Elderberry wine. Anything like that. I mean, if you want to have a little bit of a tipple, fair enough. Like I said, juniper is toxic. All juniper is toxic. Just some are more toxic than others, and if you are weakened in any way, then do not have juniper anywhere where it can be ingested even slightly. Also, if you've got anything immune suppressed about you, although it's actually supposed to be quite good apparently for arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, I would suggest you had anything immune suppressed, do not touch juniper berries. Have you quite finished? Leave my pen alone. Well, that's it from me and Barclay. I don't want to play with Mr. Yet Yet. Thank you very much. Look, this is Mr. Yet Yet. If you could see him, it's so adorable. Well, come here. Come here then. You want it? Anyway, that's it for us for now. Thank you very much. Go over there. And we will be back very soon with another little insight onto some of the herbs and spices. We could call this the Sabbat Spicerack. Some of the things that I like to use at certain Sabbats, and like I say, Yule is obviously one of my utmost favourites. This is not a Christmas tree, this is a Yule tree. These are Yule presents. And I've said it so many times at this time of year. Yes, I celebrate Xmas. I don't celebrate Christmas because there's no Christ in my Christmas. And I very much celebrate as Yule, but I do celebrate on the 25th of December because that's the way my family like to celebrate. As I said, my mum is a Christian. Most people know my mum's a Christian. And so it's respectful to her to celebrate, the same as my dad. And my dad used to celebrate Christmas with us, and he was Jewish. So anyway, I digress. So I will be back soon with another Sabbat Spicerack offering. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, witchy people. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.